Tahem Verma is the co-founder and CEO of Mesha. Mesha is an AI-enabled services firm revolutionizing financial operations for businesses. Mesha automates back-office finance tasks, streamlining accounting, accounts receivable, accounts payable, reconciliation, and more through advanced AI agents. In this session, Tahem will expose AI in your company's finances, how to be more profitable with AI. The mic now belongs to Tahem Verma.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for taking time to come to my presentation. I'm Tahem, I'm the founder of Mesha, and today we'll be talking about AI and your company's finances, and more importantly, how to become more profitable with AI. So just a quick intro about Mesha and myself. Mesha, we are a startup that builds AI agents for your company's finances. Think of us as anything to help transform your accounting, CFO insights, reconciliation, everything. If you're an e-commerce business, this means everything from Shopify reconciliation to uploading information to QuickBooks, Xero, or your accounting software, as well as matching payments, handling of Stripe, billing, everything we can help automate. So everything that your accountant or your finance team does, we can do. We have two core flagship products, Marcus, which helps with accounts receivable, which is handling payments that are owed to you, and then Max, which is your monthly accounting AI agent. With that said, we've built over 50 AI agents for a variety of different clients, and we continue building and innovating. As mentioned, I'm Tahem. I'm the founder and CEO of Mesha. Before this, I was actually the founder of an edtech company. We scaled that to over 20 million users. And now today, for the last few years, we've been building Mesha, where we've processed over 1 million transactions for our clients. So just some big brief understanding of what e-commerce companies have as multiple problems with their finance operations. So the first issue is that understanding your operation itself, it takes a lot of time. What are your current inventory levels? Which customers are the best customers? Which platforms performing best? Is it Shopify? Is it Amazon? Is it your website? It's referral partners, affiliates. What's actually happening in your business? What are the best units that are selling? Your SKU levels, etc. To think of this, you can get this information currently, but it takes a lot of time. You may have an analyst doing it for you, and it's not really easily accessible at the tip of your fingertips. That gets your next problem, getting accurate reports and having that analysis. Real-time reporting is largely not available unless someone is doing it for you to really understand how your business is doing. What are the return costs? What are your chargebacks? How much are you spending on ads per channel, and how is that impacting every customer? What is the actual lifetime value of every customer, and what is your actual cost of acquiring a customer? Sure, you're spending $1 million on Facebook ads, but how many actual customers are coming from that through referrals, actually seeing it, etc. And then finally, when you have all this information, making intelligent financial decisions. How can I improve my pricing? What are my best discount options? What are my actual cost of goods sold? Sure, like I had a certain cost for producing it, but I didn't account for the shipping cost, or I didn't account for the fact that it costs so much for the packaging. And usually, if you're a large company, you have a CFO or who can handle this for you. But if you're a smaller company, hiring a CFO or even a CFO as a service is expensive. It can start at $3,000-$4,000 a month. And so for a lot of companies, this level of insight and this level of decision making is out of their pricing. But if they had it, they would actually grow much faster. So there's, as you all know, I'm not really saying anything new. These are a lot of problems that you as founders know about yourselves. And here's where AI can really come in. So as I mentioned, you have this large problem. Finance and accounting is taking up a lot of your time and energy. If you are a founder, you're trying to understand every month how your business is doing. It's a lot of energy and time. And by the time you get this information, information is delayed, reporting is delayed. You're working with your accounting team, going back and forth. And so because of this, because the reporting is delayed, you can't have actionable insights. You can't afford a CFO. And therefore, you are operating at margins that are lower than you would like. So cash flow is constricted. You can't deploy extra cash into growing. With AI, all this can change. You can just actually transform all your operations with AI, because the best way to think of AI is that it becomes like an accountant for you, but at much cheaper the cost. So you can automate a lot of those accounting workflows. You get reports much faster. You can start seeing reports within the same day or within the same hour. Uh, because AI is more adaptable than a human bookkeeper, you can instruct it to do things much faster and it'll learn much faster. And then if you have an accounting team, this AI can actually superpower them to give you the insights that you want much faster. You access those insights and the analysis that you want as a CFO. You can get that from an AI agent as well. I'll give you an example in a second, but AI can operate as a CFO for many e-commerce companies as well. But before we actually get there, I'm sure like people are wondering, like, okay, I get it. It can automate some things, it can do some things, but actually, how can AI improve your finances, right? Because okay, automating workflows is one thing, but how does AI actually improve my business? The first thing to think of is it reduces your costs. This is really important for e-commerce companies who are a lot of times operating on margins that, because of their ad spends, are very low. Because you can reduce your accounting costs, it helps you reduce your monthly overhead costs. That's one. Two, it can help you find other ways to reduce your costs, which is really important. So you start really improving your cash flow from that. Second part is AI can help you discover insights into pricing, customer behavior, and find ways of actually improving revenue. So therefore, you've reduced your costs and now you're increasing your revenue. And then finally, because you get faster and more accurate reporting, you can make decisions much faster. And so this improves, number one, your costs, and then number two, your revenue. So it becomes a virtuous cycle where your business really benefits from implementing AI into your accounting workflows. So what does AI actually look like for you? Imagine an entire CFO team, accounting, bookkeeping, and CFO. AI can handle all of it. So the first part is accounting itself, right? It can handle entering data from all your different sources: Shopify, Stripe, Magento, WooCommerce, Amazon, PayPal. All your sales can be entered really quickly and easily. You don't have to spend time even gathering the data. AI will actually log into your PayPal account, pull that information, put it into your QuickBooks account. It categorizes it really accurately, and it learns from you as well. So, if you tell AI this month that, hey, this is a packaging cost, it'll remember that. Secondly, it helps reconcile and match your payments. So a lot of e-commerce companies spend a lot of time matching their, Stripe and Shopify sales data to their actual bank account data. And this does it in real time, which is really helpful because this is always an issue that delays reporting for e-commerce companies, and AI can handle this in minutes and seconds. And then finally, it gives you those reports, right? You get financial reports about inventory, costs, sales, customer behavior, ad spend, what's working, what's not working in minutes, not even hours or days. And because if it can behave like a CFO, you can tell it like, hey, like discover patterns. Who are my best customers? Who are behaving the best? What are the best times of the days that customers are buying? You can discover really interesting insights into pricing. You can say, hey, these are all my competitors. When do they run their discounts the most? And you can discover insights such as, okay, so my prices are 30% higher than most of my customers. So maybe, we can do some discounting there. You can discover a lot of insights from AI because it can do competitor analysis on everything from what competitors are selling are their best selling items to their ad analysis to even, what their discount strategies are. So Meisha's AI can help with a lot of this. Then it can give you suggestions on pricing, discount times, etc. Which are customers are the best, and then it can give you analysis also on the types of customers who tend to come back off more often, and the types of customers who aren't really the best customers. Then it'll handle your reconciliation accounting both for tax season as well as just running a business. Because one thing you will realize very quickly is the better you're reporting, the better you can run your business. So if you're a first-time founder, you may not, or e-commerce business owner, you may not really realize this yet, but a lot of people who are in the space for even a few months realize that reconciliation is a lot of issues, right? You have multiple platforms, Shopify, Amazon, etc., where you're selling, and then they have different payout structures. If you're selling on Stripe, for example, Stripe will bundle a lot of the payments and then send it in one. So then matching and mapping those payments is tedious because you need to figure out that, okay, like, I sold $1 million on Stripe, but I've only received $878,000 in my bank account. So, what's being held up where? And because of this, if you don't have true reconciliation, you can't predict your cash flow. You can't actually figure out next month how much I'm going to make. Because in that previous example, that's $130,000 of difference that you thought you were going to get that you aren't going to get. Now, that can be like a big change for salaries, ad spend, etc., that you thought you were going to have. So if you don't have real-time reconciliation that can only be done with AI, you can't really understand next month what your business is going to be like. And so just giving some more examples, as I'd mentioned, one is obviously you can automate your invoicing and your processing and your reconciliation, but you can also do real-time fraud and detection. You can understand which customers are just there to game your discount system, or they've come from they're the same customer just creating new and new and new voucher codes, etc. And you can find ways to prevent that. And then finally, as I mentioned, you can do cash flow forecasting and financial planning. This is really important. Think of it this way, right? If you didn't have accurate cash flow forecasting and Christmas is your big season, and you thought that in November you were going to have $1 million of cash in your bank account, but you only end up having $800,000, that's $200,000 of ad spend or something that you were going to spend in Christmas that you no longer have. So it's really important to understand your business, and only way to do that is using AI. So before we keep continuing, obviously, let's actually answer something that a lot of you must be thinking about is, what can AI not do? So AI is great. It can help with a lot of things, but it cannot build your business for you. This is really important to understand, that people think that, with ChatGPT and all, I don't have to do anything. It'll handle everything. It can give you insights. It will not build your business for you. Think of AI as adding another team member who can help and assist you with analysis, reporting, accounting, etc. But one, it won't set up the business for you. It won't set up this information for you just yet. You need our help to set that up. And then a CEO level decision it won't make. It'll give you CFO level insights, but you still have to decide, oh, I will do this, not that. I will pay for this, not that. I will price it at this. It can say, hey, price it at 800. But if you say, I want to sell price at 600, that's your choice. And that's what you need to decide. Your business better than AI will ever know it. So we can give some examples of what can happen if you implement AI. So companies can reduce costs by 30%, if not more, because you streamline your finance team, you reduce the cost of having that full finance team. If you have 6 people, now you can have 4 people. That's a big saving for your company. And then you can use that cash flow to improve growth. You can deploy it on ads, you can deploy it on salespeople, whatever you really need. You get better insights, more accurate reporting, better revenue analysis at a fraction of the cost. And the best part of AI is you don't need to actually sign up for more types of software. If you're already using inventory and you're using sales CRMs, you're using accounting systems, you're using billing systems, etc. You don't have to rebuild it. AI works on top of your stack and doesn't require you to replace anything, which saves you months of time. So I'll give you a quick example of Marcus. This is used by a lot of our productized service agencies for their billing, but it gives you an example of what AI can do on a human-to-human level. All right, so you would just click continue with Google. Let's choose an email that we would send it from. And once that email is set up, it takes only a moment, and you've then connected that email. There we go. So you go back to Marcus. You would confirm that this is the email that you'll be sending it from, and you click Get Started. And now what will happen is that Marcus will start pulling in the invoices and getting set up. So it'll pull in the invoices, all the data. Takes a few minutes. It'll understand payment histories for each client and start creating payment reminders for each one. For example, if client A takes a very long time to pay, client B, they pay on time. So specific invoices, payment reminders for each one. Once that's done, it'll also create some insights, understand, how long it takes for, on average for your customers to pay, and other things. And here we go. So you can see here it takes average days to pay, high risk clients, and then the top debtors as well. So this looks good. This, it's given up some suggested actions as well. So let's go ahead and start sending emails to all these clients. So we click here, and Marcus now creates an email sequence that we can then start sending. As you can see, it's got everything from their name, here the invoice. Because this is Stripe, it includes the payment link, all these things. There's also a payment sequence that you'll see here. It'll say, wait for 3 days. You can edit this. Each email, it becomes more and more stern about that, they need to pay. And so this looks good. I think we'll go ahead and say, okay, let's go ahead and send it to some clients. So this client has one unpaid for $200. Let's send it to them. We click save and start. And now Marcus will initiate an email sequence for this client. And there we go. The workflow has started successfully. And you can see that Marcus is now sending an email reminder for that one specific unpaid invoice. There's a 10-minute cool-off period. So if you want to change your mind, you can do that. But this is the active campaign that we selected. All your other inactive campaigns are here. So you can see all the overdue invoices that people owe you. And then you can click play to say, hey, get started for that specific customer. So let's go ahead and see what that actually means. So the first thing you'll see is that all the invoices of this customer are here, and then this is the specific sequence that we've started. So when we go ahead and click on this, you will see a few different things. One, you'll see some insights into, what their billing history and all is like. You'll see, that specific invoice. You can download it. You can also view what's going on with that invoice. And then you'll see that, the invoice has been sent today, as well as the fact that the next scheduled reminder is for a few days from now. If you want to change that, you can just, click on this and say, hey, send it, on the 31st or whichever day that you prefer. Once the client is paid on Stripe, it will automatically get marked as paid. But if they pay you outside of Stripe, you can even go ahead and just say mark as paid here, and then it will stop the email sequence. Let's also see what that actual email sequence looks like for the client. All right, so here I am on the email. This is obviously a sample email sent to me so I can show you. But this is the email that's come from Marcus. It says, hi, Sandeep, here's the invoice that's needed to get paid. Here's the payment link, etc. Now, what's really good about this is because it's AI, I can reply saying, I will pay tomorrow, like any other client will. And you click send. Marcus will acknowledge and understand this, and then actually update the payments reminders to understand that this client is intending to pay tomorrow, and that it will check tomorrow before sending another reminder. All right, great. So that was a quick demo of Marcus, one of our flagship AI agents. Now we can just jump into a few case studies. So for example, IPC, which is one of our clients, they also had a use case for Marcus in improving their collections and how they could improve their cash flow in the business. So the first thing we did was we chatted with the team. We understood the workflows, what is the actual core issue. We then deployed our AI agents to help automate and scale the business, really automating and improving a lot of their collections, from personalized reminders, insights where clients were more likely to cancel, etc. And what this did was this actually improved their cash flow because they were able to collect cash much faster, and then they were able to deploy this for growth. So while their profit increased by 5% because costs reduced and cash came in faster, revenue actually increased by 12% because that 5% was redeployed in ads and Facebook ads and being able to grow much faster. A more relevant example of one of our clients for a lot of e-commerce companies is Pulse. Pulse is an e-commerce company, and they came to us with a huge workload. They said, look, we've got over 400,000 sales that we've done in the last year. How do we reconcile this in our accounting software, get ready for tax season, match all the payments to this, the sales platform. They sell on Shopify, Amazon, and then they bill on Stripe, for example. So, 400,000 invoices to reconcile all this. What would currently need to happen is you would need to hire a large team, be very expensive, and be very time consuming. Take multiple months. You would need to hire multiple team members to do this. But with Mesha, you can just use AI agents to do it, and that's what we did. So we deployed AI agents to be able to handle over 400,000 invoices simultaneously, reconcile it, match them, and input the data into their accounting software. And so, what would have taken over 3 months and thousands, if not over $20,000 for this team, took one day, just 24 hours, and 1/10 the cost. So that's like a huge, huge win for this team. And that's really it. Guys, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. Uh, Very much appreciate it. You can always reach out to us at growth@trymesha.com if you want to contact us. There is a 25% discount where you can see the code below for anyone who's attending this conference. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. We're always available to chat.
Huge thanks to Tahem for sharing your tips on using AI to optimize financial processes and boost profitability.